right, multiplying binomials. We are actually going to, excuse me, talk about multiplying binomials and trinomials, both. Multiplying binomials, there's a very special little word that we use in math, FOIL, and we're going to talk about how FOIL is going to help us to do multiplication of binomials. Remember, binomial means I've got a term or a polynomial with two terms. So here's an example. Here are two binomials, and what we're going to do is we're going to have to multiply 4 times. So we have to multiply the first terms, the outer terms, the inner terms, and the last terms. So what we mean by first is, first would be this term and this term. Those are the first terms in my two binomials. So x times x is x squared. Right? Then we're going to multiply the outer, which would be this term and this term, because those are on the outside of the binomial. So I have 5 times x, which is a positive 5x. Then I'm going to multiply the inner, which would be these two, because they're on the inside. So I'm going to multiply 2 times x, which is a positive 2x. And then last, I am going to multiply the last. And the last would be the 2 and the 5. Those are my last terms. 2 times 5 is positive 10. So that's how I get my 4 different terms. I just have one step left. You want to check your middle and make sure that if you can combine like terms that you do that. And in this case I can, because an x and an x are the same. Those are like terms. So I'm going to go ahead and combine those. 5x plus 2x is 7x. And then I keep the rest of it. The x squared and the 10 just kind of come down. And what I end up with is a trinomial. Most of the time, if you're multiplying a binomial times a binomial, you're going to get a trinomial, because that middle part there combines together. Especially when you start out with, let me erase some of this, with the same kinds of a binomial, where I have an x and a constant and an x and a constant. That's going to almost always come out to be a trinomial. All right, let's try another one. Okay, so first, outer, inner. So here are my first terms, would be my b and my 4b and my b. That's going to give me 4b squared. My outer terms would be this term and this term. That's a positive 12b. My inner terms are these two. That is a negative 2b. And then my last will be the negative 2 and the positive 3, which is a negative 6. And I'm going to check my middle. And yes, I can combine those. So I get 4b squared plus 10b minus 6. And that's my trinomial. All right. Let's see. This is really big here. Why don't you give this one a try? See if you can do it. Pause the video and see if you can do this one. All right, so first, x squared, outer is 9x, inner is negative 7x, and last is 63, or negative 63. Combine my middle is 2x. And that's my answer. X squared plus 2x minus 63. Okay, now sometimes when we're multiplying, we don't have 2 binomials. Now, FOIL only works if you have 2 binomials like this here. You know, I have 2 binomials, okay? Only time FOIL works. This one I have a binomial and a trinomial. So FOIL doesn't work. It's not going to get everything I need. So I'm actually going to have to distribute, and I'm going to have to distribute twice, because what this means is that I have to multiply the negative 3 times each of these terms, and I have to multiply the g times each of these terms. Now, it doesn't really matter which one you start with. You just start wherever. If you start with g or negative 3, but I'm going to start with the g. So 2g cubed plus 3g squared plus 3g. Now, I got that from this right here. 2g cubed, 3g squared, and then this one gives me the 3g. Now I'm going to do the negative 3. So negative 3 times 2g squared is negative 6g squared. Negative 3 times 3g is negative 9g. And then negative 3 times positive 3 is negative 9. Now, once I've got that all done, now I'm going to go back and do some combining, because I'm pretty sure I got some combining. I do want my answer to be in order from highest degree to the smallest degree. So since this is my biggest degree, that's the one I'm going to start with. And there's no other one with a power of 3, so that's it. That's the only one there. Okay, then I'm going to go to my squares, so 3g squared and negative 6g squared. So I have negative 3g squared. Okay. Then I've got a positive 3g and a negative 9g, which is a negative 6g. And then I have left the negative 9, and I have nothing to combine it with. So if you notice, the one on the ends, on each end, I didn't have anything to combine, but the two in the middle, I had 2 of each. And that's just because of the way that the distributing works. That's pretty typical that you're going to have that. And then that would be my answer, because there's nothing else that I can combine. And that is it.